If you're given a chance to take a pill that would change your life forever, would you take it? The Limitless pill will make you fitter, faster, healthier, wealthier. Just imagine a pill like that actually existed. These promises may sound similar if you've watched the film Limitless, where a drug called NZT48 promises access to 100% of your brain. Believe it or not, drugs like this exist in real life, not only in movies. We're entering an era where humans can enhance their memory, attention, perception, and psychomotor functions through drugs and supplements called nootropics. We live in a society where the norm is to be smart, capable, and innovative. Everyone wants to be the best version of themselves and will do whatever it takes to reach that standard of success. Whether you're a college student, startup entrepreneur, or a well-known celebrity, the thought of wanting success surely crosses your mind. That's why people from all walks of life started to take on the enticing promises brought about by nootropics. Are nootropics essential to achieving optimal brain power and success? What exactly is there to know about these drugs? What are nootropics? Nootropics are known as cognitive-enhancing drugs, or smart drugs. Nootropics exist in a variety of forms. Some are available in liquid, capsule, or powder form. Nootropics started to gain its mainstream status in the last few years. This is attributed to the drug's ability to increase mental function, including memory, motivation, concentration, and attention. Anything that's able to aid in improving mental function can be labeled as a nootropic. Its promising abilities were usually utilized by students desperately catching up on academic work or caffeine-addicted programmers. But now, the current target consumer of nootropics widened, as it now includes people who use it for various purposes, such as businessmen and even celebrities who want to try and experience the effects of nootropics. High-profile businessmen such as Jeff Wu from Silicon Valley started neurohacking their brains with nootropics to get laser-sharp focus for handling high-stakes trades and deals. Their very competitive lifestyles include tiring late-night projects to early morning meetings, and nootropics keep them resilient. To them, nootropics are optimizing shortcuts to be better, more productive versions of themselves. Along with these businessmen are big names such as Joe Jonas and Travis Barker, who are currently backing a nootropic nosh company called MindRight. Their investment in the nootropics business spells their support and belief for the abilities of nootropic supplements and their contribution to brain health and achieving optimal brain power in a larger and more commercial scale. The king of podcasting, Joe Rogan, is also a vocal user and endorser of nootropics. He said that nootropics help him maintain a laser-sharp focus on whatever he does. Joe lives a busy life, and he continuously implies how nootropics leave him fully charged while doing his stand-up gigs or working with the UFC, and it made him feel like he didn't want to do anything without it. He talked about the brain as if it were a computer and how nootropics significantly increases processing speeds. Quote, "I had noticed that I had a better recall of words. It gave me some mental boost." The same level of reverence for nootropics could be seen from the influential entrepreneur Dave Asprey, who spent over $300,000 on smart drugs within the last 15 years. And according to him, every penny was worth it. Quote, "This can be the difference between, I'm just making it through the day, to like, I had the best day of my life." Seeing how celebrities have talked so highly of nootropics, trying them out might be the next thing you want to do. That's understandable, but before making the decision, you should first be knowledgeable enough about the kinds of nootropics. Nootropics are categorized into two: non-prescription and prescription. Non-prescription nootropics include caffeine, L-theanine, and creatine. These are natural and herbal nootropics that promise to boost brain function and make the brain healthier. There are also prescription nootropics, including amphetamine, modafinil, and Noopept. Prescription nootropics are drugs that stimulate the brain and are used to counteract cognitive diseases. But nowadays, they're also used by healthy people as cognitive enhancers. Knowing the difference between the two types of nootropics can prevent misuse and potential dependence or addiction. Types of nootropics. The amazing testimonials from celebrities and mentioned effects of nootropics might make you think that these substances are all hard to find. But that's far from the truth. You'd be surprised to know that you may already have tried a nootropic. A nootropic widely consumed and easily accessible is caffeine. This psychoactive substance is found in coffee, cocoa, and tea, and acts as a nootropic by blocking adenosine receptors in the brain and prevents feelings of tiredness. Another easily accessible nootropic is L-theanine. It's an amino acid found in tea. It has a calming effect without causing drowsiness and can increase alpha waves in the brain, which is linked to creativity. If you're someone who frequents the gym, a nootropic you may have heard about or even tried yourself is creatine. Creatine is an amino acid that provides muscle growth and improves short-term memory and reasoning skills by providing energy for the brain. For the prescription type of nootropics, the first on the list is Noopept. It boosts levels of brain-deprived neurotrophic factor, which promotes the growth of brain cells and thus improves memory. Its effects can be felt within minutes. Another prescription nootropic is modafinil, which is commonly sold under the brand name Provigil. Studies proved that modafinil reduces feelings of fatigue and improves memory in sleep-deprived adults. Last on this list are amphetamines, such as Adderall, which is a prescription medication that contains highly stimulating amphetamines. When taken by healthy adults, it improves attention and focus. This is possible through increasing the availability of the brain chemicals dopamine and noradrenaline. The part of the brain that's affected by this drug is the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for controlling working memory, attention, and behavior. How nootropics improve cognitive abilities. The previously discussed amplification of basic mental capability is what we call cognitive enhancement, which is made possible through nootropics. Cognitive enhancers were originally developed to treat cognitive diseases such as Alzheimer's disease, ADHD, and narcolepsy. They address different impairments in cognitive functioning, such as attention, abnormal learning, and the absence of top-down cognitive control. But over the years, the use of cognitive enhancers in healthy individuals as a smart drug rapidly increased. How nootropics help you achieve optimum brain power. Generally, users of nootropics experience little to no fatigue. An example is the usage of modafinil that boosts levels of histamine in the brain, which prevents the feeling of tiredness. The effect lasts for 12 hours, and it'll help you work with immense focus despite the lack of rest. This nootropic prevents you from getting distracted and will help you focus your attention on the task at hand. Nootropic users also benefit from enhanced memory. Another effect of modafinil is that it raises levels of dopamine in the brain. This results in a better working memory. Through this, the user can complete tasks faster and recall facts more easily. Powerful neurotransmitters such as serotonin and norepinephrine are affected by nootropics, and it increases levels of productivity up to the point where you could finish multiple days of work in a single day. Because of the wondrous effects of cognitive-enhancing drugs, they are gaining interest and usage in academic settings. Students who use nootropics aim for improved memory, mental alertness, and concentration through nootropics such as modafinil and amphetamines. Students are now taking nootropics without prescription due to the belief that these cognitive enhancers will help them in studying and answering high-pressure examinations. These drugs work for the students as it helps them stay awake for long periods of time and boosts their attentiveness. Do nootropics appear on a drug test? Learning about how nootropics work might lead us to an interesting question. Would nootropics appear on a drug test? Millions of people are now frequently using nootropics, and the fear of failing a drug test is a reasonable concern. The simple answer is no. To further explain, drug tests usually look for the presence of amphetamines, opiates, THC, and cocaine. Most natural nootropics do not contain any of these substances and can support cognitive function without it calling a failed drug test. Failing a drug test is not one of the concerns of a nootropic user, but there are more pressing concerns to be discussed. Are nootropics worth it? Nootropics are indeed promising, but is it worth all the money and risk? We know how helpful nootropics are in improving our lives, but proper understanding of the possible risk factors in taking these cognitive-enhancing drugs should also be considered. To help us gain a further understanding of the risk of nootropics usage, let's learn from a case study from the clinical article entitled Probable Nootropic-Induced Psychiatric Adverse Effects. A 28-year-old female graduate student presented urgently to the psychiatry clinic for the new onset insomnia, anxiety, and panic attacks. The patient reported that she recently started using modafinil to help her cope with her stressful academic program. Initially, she consumed modafinil on an as-needed basis, and she felt improved performance and well-being. She then started using it regularly twice daily. Approximately 1 week later, the symptoms of insomnia, anxiety, and panic attacks began. The patient reported using modafinil upon the suggestion of a friend, and it was obtained online from an overseas pharmacy. The patient was advised to stop modafinil and was prescribed clonazepam twice daily until symptoms resolved 1 week later. At a follow-up 1 week later, her symptoms had resolved. The nootropic mentioned in the case study is modafinil, a wakefulness-promoting nootropic. This case study shows how nootropic use is an under-recognized and evolving problem. Considering how most nootropics are not detected on standard drug toxicology screening tests, It's difficult to gather clinical information on how nootropics may interact with pre-existing conditions and other medications a user is currently taking. This can cause potential adverse physical and psychiatric side effects. The low consideration for the negative health consequences associated with unnecessary use of nootropics among healthy individuals is concerning. Most information available on the internet and mainstream media are usually biased with personal views and may prevent us from fully understanding the medical impact of nootropics in physical and mental health, such as drug addiction, dependence, and neurological complications. Another related issue is the loosely regulated source of nootropics, such as online vendors that freely sell prescription psychoactive compounds used for specific ailments and are not safe to take on a daily basis by healthy people. The non-prescribed usage involves many risks, as these drugs should not be taken without consulting a physician. With the knowledge of both the benefits and risks of nootropics usage, it's encouraged to first do proper research and have a proper consultation with a healthcare professional before engaging in the regular use of nootropics. We do live in a competitive world that expects us to be focused 24/7, but that doesn't mean we have to sacrifice our well-being just to fit into the current standards of success. The rise of nootropics gives people with busy lives an opportunity to continue with their hectic lifestyles. But along with its benefits are certain risks that have to be considered. Scientific advances like nootropics are there to help us succeed, but we should also not forget how us humans, even without the help of these miracle drugs, are already capable of being smart, capable, and innovative on our own. Nootropics are there to guide us toward success, but they should not replace our innate ability to succeed with our own talent and capability.